sunny day. And if you guys tuned in yesterday, we had Marty comment a pose that she wanted to go over. So if you have a pose, a posture, a movement that you want to go over, please go ahead and comment it. I will definitely include it in today's movement. And it can be anything. It can be a balancing pose. It can be a transitional pose. It can be a request even for the meditation. So what I've been doing pretty much for these classes is coming into it pretty open. I don't have a whole lot planned as far as a sequence. So if you guys have any requests for certain poses, I would love to honor that. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Kelly Mays, and I'm here with Mystic Fitness. I teach Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday mornings. And all of these videos are live every morning at 9 a.m., but then they're also archived into our Facebook page. If you go to our videos, you're going to be able to access all of that material. In addition, we're also live on Instagram, so if you have family members that choose Instagram over Facebook, you can send them our way. And then our YouTube channel is up and running. That's Mystic Fitness on YouTube. And that is a great option for people who don't really like the whole social media thing. You can still enjoy this class without having that social media presence by just going on to YouTube, looking us up. And if you like us, you can give us a little thumbs up, some comments, maybe subscribe to our channel. And I hope you guys are enjoying the little breakdowns that we're doing throughout our week of certain poses. Good morning, Tom. So if there's any part of class that kind of confuses you or any poses that you have a question about, I would love to take an extra moment to record something so that you guys can see a breakdown of it. And that goes for the live classes as well. If you guys are really requesting one certain pose, you can go ahead and shout it out. We'll go ahead and get started in the next couple seconds. So go ahead and grab your mats, your drink, and just a final announcement here. If you guys enjoy our content and are in a financial situation where you can donate or feel moved to donate, we are on Venmo, so you can look our username up on Venmo, Mystic Fitness. And with every donation, no matter what the size, you'll receive these beautiful masks from Mary Beth. And they are handmade, and I am going to use one today after class to go to the grocery store and get some groceries. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for commenting and joining in. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Find your way to a comfortable position, either laying down or seated. Maybe you want to come into a child's pose, whatever feels right. As you arrive onto your mat, into your space, just let your breath kind of take over for a couple moments. Inhale and exhale. Breathe it in and let it go. Start this process of kind of blooming into the moment. Just like a flower opening its petals once the sun shines on it. Letting each inhale expand through the belly and reach all the way up to the chest. And then relax all the Whenever I go outside and look at our beautiful landscape around us, always reminded that change and transformation is really the only constant within life. And there's comfort in that notion that everything has this feeling of transformation. Everything is temporary. Slowly starting to reawaken back into this moment, wiggling the toes and fingers. Letting your breath expand even wider. Taking some wiggling through the toes and fingers, maybe rocking the head from side to side. And finding your way so that you can place the hands over your heart. And I encourage you to find the comfort in this idea of change. It's like the certain within the uncertainty. There's change, which is constant and very certain to happen. And then the uncertainty of change is what will happen. Just finding the peace and knowing that this universe is constantly changing and moving and rearranging. But we are taken care of and we are part of that inevitable change. We'll begin our practice here with the sound of Om, starting with a cleansing breath in and out. And for Om, inhale. Have a wonderful practice, everyone. We're going to go ahead and transition into our table pose. So find your way into that location. In your table pose, just taking a couple moments to inhale, drop the chest, gaze forward. And with the exhale, curling the spine as you tuck the chin, curling towards the belly. And inhale, open it back up again. Exhale, curl and round. Taking a couple more here. Letting the space within the vertebra expand with each breath. And these are all natural ranges of motion for our spine. From here, let's tuck the toes under and sit back onto the heels. So this is a pretty intense stretch through the arches of the feet. So to make this a little less intense, you can hinge your weight a little bit more forward. And to make this a little bit more intense, you're going to stack the shoulders on top of the hips. Let's give our wrists a little warm up here, warming up the wrists by rolling them, even opening and closing the fingers, kind of warming up the knuckles as well, giving them a good shake. And then giving those shoulders an adequate warm up as well by just kind of lifting the shoulders up and away from the ears. And the arms can kind of do whatever feels natural here, either opening them up wide or maybe keeping them close to the belly, or body rather. And let's take that in the opposite rotation. So it's very important that we get these movements in before we kind of bring that weight onto the wrists or upper body. And let's release out of this and give our feet a good slap onto the earth. Coming back into our table pose and finding some nice big sweeping circles through the pelvic bowl, dropping them to one side and then swinging them to the other. And these circles can be figure eights or they can be little semicircles. Whatever gives your body this free range of movement. And this phase of our class is our opportunity to kind of connect to the fluidity within the body. Eventually sinking down into a child's pose. Taking a moment here, the knees can be as close together or as far apart as you like. Arms can reach forward or maybe towards the heels. Whatever gives you this moment to kind of rest back down into your mat. Connect back to that beautiful breath. Take a moment to show gratitude for this mat, for this practice. Slowly returning back to center, finding your table pose once again with a nice flat back. We're going to go ahead and extend the right leg behind us with the toes up off of the ground, foot is flexed. And then drop the right toes over towards the left bottom corner of your mat. And you're going to shift your sight so that you're kind of looking over left shoulder. This is your inhale. And your exhale is pulling that right knee over towards right elbow or shoulder. Inhale, kick that right foot all the way back and over to the left. Just find that side stretch. And exhale, bring that knee over towards the elbow. Inhale, extend it back, find that side stretch. Exhale, curl knee to elbow. 2 more here. Take it nice and slow so you can really activate through the glute, as well as use the obliques and abdominal muscles to pull that knee in. Last one here, side stretch. And knee towards elbow. Landing back into your table pose, dropping the chest, gazing forward, and curling and looking inward. One more like this. Go ahead and find that flat back once again. Extend the left leg back this time. Flex the foot. Heel is in line with the hip. And then drop left toes over towards the bottom right corner and gaze over right shoulder. Feel that side opening through the left. Inhale. Exhale, left knee towards left elbow or shoulder. Inhale, extend and reach the toes towards the right. Exhale, pull the knee in. 4 more here. Inhale and exhale. Really try to isolate the muscles that you're using here. That would be the glute within the leg and the abdominal muscles here as you pull this knee in. I kind of lost count, so let's wash it with 1 more. And then return back to your table pose. Sink back into a child's pose for a moment. Walk your fingers over towards the left corner of your upper right or upper mat. Coming through center, walking the hands over in the opposite direction, finding that stretch in the opposite part of the body. Returning back to your table pose, tucking the toes under and lifting the hips up and back for your downward facing dog. Taking this moment here to pedal out your dog by lifting one heel at a time and pressing the other heel towards the earth. And as we bring our attention into our hamstrings, we're not forgetting about those hands and shoulders. The hands are pressed into the earth, shoulders are rolling down and away from the ears. And the shoulders are also kind of rolling away from each other, so they're spread nice and wide. Keeping a micro bend in the elbows to protect your joints. Making sure the neck is a natural extension of the spine. You can shake the head yes and no to release any tension being held there. And just enjoy this little movement in your downward facing dog. Eventually we'll turn these into some back and forth presses. So these are brilliant in getting the inner thighs warmed up and also kind of preparing ourselves to hold some more intense planks. So with the inhale, drop the knees to just a hover, hips pull up and back. This pose is called your bent knee dog. With the exhale, you're going to launch yourself forward, but make sure those shoulders don't come past the wrist. Try to stack the joints here. Inhale, peeling yourself back, pull the hips up and back. And exhale, plank pose. So you'll notice in the monitor, I tend to kind of hyperextend my elbows. So I'm going to consciously keep my elbows a little bit more bent here as I come into my bent knee dog and to my plank pose. Take 3 more here. So the slower you go, the more you can kind of pay attention to what's actually happening in this posture. Last one. Hold in your plank pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Notice how strong you are. Drop those knees to the ground, but keep those hips in line with the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, lower for your chaturanga with the elbows pointing back. Inhale to your low cobra, peel the chest up, elbows come towards the body, and exhale, release. Let's find 2 more low cobras here. Inhale, press it up. Use that strength through the back as well as the abdominals, clenching inward. Exhale, release. 1 more here. Inhale, try to keep that chin tucked to protect your neck. And exhale, release, making your way back to your table pose. And then finding your downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, bending the knees, gazing forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Pausing here for a moment to shake the head, yes and no. Keep a gentle bend in the knees so that you can relax through your lower back. Perhaps you like your ragdoll here and you grab onto opposite elbows and just kind of sway from left to right. Open and close the jaw for a moment to just release all of the tension through the muscles of the face. Sometimes we don't even realize we're kind of clenching our jaw or kind of, what's the word that you do with your brow? Kind of like tensing your brow. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart. Ground down here. Take a moment to make sure the feet are hip distance apart. Feel the palms pressing towards one another. Shoulders are relaxing down and away from the ears. We're going to come in and out of some chair twists here. So it will look something like this. You can start with me. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, dip and twist to the right. So the left arm pulls forward, right arm pulls back. Inhale through center to lengthen. Exhale, twist and dip to the left. Taking it a little faster here. In, twist right. In, twist left. Feel that heat through the legs. In, right, in, left. Your gaze can move with your fingertips. For 5, 4. Really sink those hips nice and low. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise. And with the exhale, sit back into that chair pose. So sink those hips back. I'm going to show you guys quickly from the side. There's a couple ways that you can fall into some dysfunctions here. One of those would be kind of arching and having this rounded spine, or kind of curling and having this tucked spine. You want to find that happy spot in the middle. So when I say find that flat back, like in your table pose, that's kind of where we're coming here. We're going to hold here for 5 more seconds. I know. Feel that warmth working through your body. It's going to carry you through the rest of your class. Those legs are like tree trunks pressed into the earth. Last inhale. With the exhale, hinge forward. Let yourself hang in a forward fold for a moment. Shake the head, yes and no. Take a moment in your fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hands plant, stepping or hopping back to your plank pose. In your plank pose, take a deep breath in. Decide what version of chaturanga you would like. And then with the exhale, slowly lower halfway. Inhale, up dog, or maybe you went for your low cobra style. And exhale, downward facing dog. Hips pull up and back, toes release. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, right leg reaches up towards the sky. And then with the exhale, let's open up our hip. Dial that right heel over towards the left. So in yesterday's class, Marty asked us to demonstrate a flip dog. And I think the best way to learn something is to do it a couple times. So we'll do that again in our class today. But for now, we're just kind of opening up the hip, getting to understand that sensation. Inhale, reach the right leg back up to the sky. Square your hips. With the exhale, curl the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, reach right leg back up towards the sky. With the exhale, curl the right knee towards left elbow. And then kick that right leg through that window and open up to this funky side plank. So this is also one of those movements that is kind of similar to a flip dog. We're pressing the hips up. All of our weight is on one hand. And we're using the leg strength to kind of release some of that weight from the hand and press the hips up. Now stay with me. We're going to drop that left hand back to the ground. Reach right leg up to the sky. 3-leg dog. And with the exhale, bring that knee in towards the chest. Step to your runner's lunge. From here, we'll find some back and forth presses to release that right hamstring. And you can do this by bringing blocks underneath the hands and then bending and extending through the right leg. I really personally enjoy doing this with my left knee to the ground so I can access my right hamstring as I press the hips back. And as I press the hips forward, now I'm accessing my left hip flexor. So play around with both styles of those. You'll decide which one resonates with you. And one morning might be completely different than yesterday morning or the morning before that or tomorrow morning. So just honor whatever movements feel best for you now. And it's kind of funny to think the only you that exists is the you that's here now. I don't know if that's pretty crazy or not, but all right, we'll return back to that runner's lunge. If you are on your left knee, tuck the toes under, lift the knee up, and then we'll find a hover here. So make sure the feet are hip distance apart. Really plug that right foot into the ground and reach the arms back with the fingertips spread, palms facing down. Inhale, rise to your crescent lunge, arms reach up. Exhale, take a dip down, bringing the elbows towards the rib cage. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, return back to that hover. Let's do this a couple more times. I'll walk you through it. Inhale, arms reach up, crescent lunge. Exhale, dip down, bring those elbows towards the rib cage. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hover, arms pull back, extend the crown long. 2 more. Inhale, arms reach up, crescent lunge. Exhale, crescent lunge, dip down. Inhale, re-extend nice and long. Exhale, hover. Here's our last one, best one yet. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, dip. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Holding in your hover or choosing to reach those left toes up off of the ground, finding your warrior 3 variation. If you want to make this a little bit easier on your balance, you can interlace the hands on top of right thigh and use this as a little location to kind of press some of your weight. Keep that flying left foot flexed. Breathe in. With the exhale, return back to that hover. That left toe lands back to the ground. Arms peel back. And release all the way down back to your runner's lunge. Hands plant, step that right foot up and back. 3-leg dog. All right, here we go. This is for Marty. Let's dial that hip open, drop the heel over towards the left. And if you are confident in trying your flip dog and you feel safe and in control, you're going to start to bend in that left knee. Drop the right toes to the left side of your mat and press those hips up. So my left hand is grounded, right arm is either reaching up towards the sky or overhead. Really press those hips up. That's a huge component of this posture. To come out of it, we're going to bend the knees, kind of load like a little spring. And then with the exhale, we're going to reach that right leg back up. Both palms meet the ground. Choosing to return back to your full plank or find a 3-legged plank by hinging the chest forward. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Inhale, left leg reaches up towards the sky. And then open up your hip. Maybe you bend and extend a couple times. We're dropping that left heel over towards the right, reaching the knee up towards the sky. This is going to prepare us for that flipped dog. And then we're going to reach the left leg back up to the sky, square the hips, inhale, exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, sweep left leg rises. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Then we're going to kick the left leg through. Rotate our hips open up to the right. Press up with the hips. So we're in this wild thing posture here, kind of like a flipped dog. We're using the same components here of pressing up with the hips. Now stay with me. Right palm plants. Reach the left leg back up to the sky. I know. Inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Step to your runner's lunge. We'll take those back and forth presses here once again. So if you like to drop your back knee to the ground, that would be our right knee this time. And then bend and extend through the left leg. So this will feel nice to give yourself a moment to kind of unwind through the left hamstring. And we're also accessing a little bit of our right hip flexor as we press forward. Finding one more full rotation of breath in and out. And then we'll come back to our runner's lunge, so you might have to tuck those right toes under and lift the knee up. Make sure the feet are hip distance apart and really plug that left foot into the earth. So I actually pick my toes up off the ground, spread them, and then replant them down so I have enough surface area and connection. Finding that hover here as you pull the crown forward, chest lifts up off of that left thigh, arms pull back. You want those palms facing down. For a moment, go ahead and turn those knuckles to the ground. Notice how now your shoulders are kind of caving in. And now, turn the palms to the ground. Notice how that changes this posture. Something as simple as that. Inhale, arms reach up to your crescent lunge. You guys know where we're going. Exhale, dip it down, elbows towards rib cage. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, hinge to your hover. Palms face the ground. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dip. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hover. 3 more. In, out, in, and out. Last 2, crescent lunge. Dip it down. Rise it up. Exhale, hover. Holding in your hover pose here. Stay with it. Reaching to your warrior 3 by lifting those right toes up off of the ground. So if you'd like to make this a little bit less challenging for your balance, you're going to interlace your hands on top of that left thigh and kind of use that to press onto your standing strong leg. Keep that flying foot flexed. Hips are dialed down. That right hip dials down. Inhale. With the exhale, returning back to that hover, coming onto the ball of the right foot, lowering the hands back to the ground, and then sending left leg up and back, 3-leg dog. Opening your hip here, and if you'd like, we'll take that flip dog once you're ready and confident, bending in the right knee so that you can drop the left toes to the right side of your mat. Press those hips up. To come out of this pose, very important that you bend the knees, create a little spring here, and then use that to reach left leg up towards the sky as both palms plant back. Choosing to come into your full plank or finding that 3-leg plank by hinging forward, left leg stays extended. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. And with the exhale, let's pause for a moment. Grab a quick little drink here. You can find a child's pose if you're not thirsty. And do we have any suggestions for a balancing posture this morning? All right, doesn't look like we have any suggestions, so we are going to just make it up as we go here. Take another breath in your child's pose. Take a moment. Prepare your mind. All right, Tom would like a dancer pose. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and come back to our downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Again, inhale and exhale. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep, reach all the way up. And then with the exhale, hands come to heart. Take a deep inhale and exhale. So we're going to come into our dancer pose for Tom this morning. And I'd like to start us off with a nice deep quad stretch. So for your quad stretch, you can bring the weight into that right foot, bend left knee, and grab onto the outside of the ankle here. We're just going to start by pressing that left knee towards the ground and pressing the pelvis forward a little bit so that you can get that nice deep stretch through the left quad. And taking one more breath here. We're just getting a little quick stretch. And exhale, release. We'll take that to the other side. And we're also practicing that balancing. So really ground that left foot in. It's not just placed there. I want you guys to imagine as if you're kind of growing roots from that left foot. Bend right knee and grab onto the outside of the ankle. And use that energy of reaching downwards with that right knee and pressing forward with the hip so that you're getting that nice opening. So this is an opening through the front chain of the body. Whenever we do those hamstring stretches, that's the back chain of your body. And go ahead and release. Now we'll go for our full dancer pose. So what I want you to do is inhale, arms circle sweep up, really lengthen and grow long. Then with the exhale, keep the right hand where it is, but open up left arm out to the left. From here, bringing that weight into the right foot, we're going to bend left knee, and this time we're going to grab on the inside of our ankle or shin area. Before going anywhere, inhale, really lengthen upwards. And then with the exhale, you're going to hinge your chest forward as you kick the left leg into left hand. So notice I'm keeping a bend through my right knee so that I'm protecting my joints. And I'm trying to hinge my chest so that it's parallel to my mat. Breath is super important here. Breathe in and out. If you fall out of it, it's a beautiful opportunity to get right back in. 3 more breaths. Really kick into that hand and hand pulls back. This beautiful contrast that keeps you balanced. And exhale. Come out of it the same way you got into it. Releasing that left leg. Shake it out. Might feel good to empty coat sleeve, arms from side to side. And then we will take that on the other side here. So inhale, arm circle sweep up. Exhale, left arm reaches up to the sky as you open up that right hand out towards the right. Grabbing onto the inside of right ankle. Before you go anywhere, ground down, breathe in. And with the exhale, let's kick into that hand. Hand pulls back. Left arm extends long in front of you. Bring that chest parallel to the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. And if you feel wobbly, just come back to your drishti. Come back to that focus. Last breath here. Stay with it. Woo. As you exhale, slowly come out of it the same way you got into it. Release that right foot back to the ground. And then find those empty coat sleeves from side to side. Wonderful. I want you to come into the middle of your mat and walk the feet out. Bring the heels in, toes out for your goddess pose. Take a moment to bounce up and down in your goddess pose. Give your hips a little moment to kind of understand this posture. So you'll notice that the deeper you go, the more intense it's going to become on the hip flexors. So instead of going to your max, kind of getting that really deep stretch through your hips, I want you to find that happy spot in the middle where you can really engage through the thighs and press those heels to the ground. So the other day, I think it was in Kelly's class, we did these toe lifts, kind of coming in and out of one tippy toe at a time. And this time we're going to add some hands into it. So with the inhale, we're coming up onto the right tippy toes. We're going to reach right arm out, left hand stays towards the chest. As you exhale, drop both hands in front of you, exchange them as you lift onto the left tippy toes. So the left arm reaches out, right hand towards the chest. So we're reaching the arms down, changing the sides, bringing the arms down, changing the sides. So I'll walk you through that one more time. As the left hand comes to the heart, right arm extends. We're on the tippy toes of the right foot. Dropping the arms through center as you exchange the tippy toes. Left arm extends, right hand to heart. We'll do this for about 30 more seconds, but I want you to go at your own pace. So some of us will go a little faster. Some of us will go a little slower with a little bit more control. So find your pattern here. Upper body is fluid as lower body is a little bit more engaged and connected. We're about halfway through. Really try to keep those hips level so that you're not relying on momentum. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. And then with the exhale, let's visit our warrior two on the right side. So we're going to point our right toes out towards the front, dial the left foot in so that the outer edge is towards the back of our mat and pressing away. Make sure those hips are nice and stacked underneath you. And hold here for the inhale. And exhale. Inhale, flip right palm, reverse your warrior, hold here. Feel that lengthening through the right side body while maintaining integrity through the left side body. So that means that we're not kind of crunching our way in. We're keeping our chest nice and lifted to the sky. Exhale, find your side angle pose. So dropping that right wrist towards the inner right thigh. Breathing here. Maybe you want to take some circles through that left arm. Changing the direction of this. And we're really trying to use our abdominals to keep us lifted. So notice how the arms are just kind of accessories here. Eventually find your best version of your side angle pose for 2 breaths. Last one. Returning back to center, lengthen through right leg, turn the toes in, and then turn the left toes to face the front, and we'll find that warrior two on the other side. So at this point, those left toes might actually be facing the back of your mat, but I think you guys get the idea here. We're coming into our warrior two on the left side. Outer edge of that right foot presses towards the back, whereas the right toes press for the front. Breathe it in. Let it go. Inhale, flip left palm, reverse your warrior. Stay for the exhale. Really lengthen up and over with that left side body, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And with the exhale, finding that side angle pose, holding here, making sure both feet are active into the ground. Maybe you start to rotate that right shoulder. And in the opposite direction. Finally, finding your best version of your side angle. Last 2 breaths here. Engage every fiber of your being. Relax the shoulders and face. Coming all the way back up, lengthen through the left leg. Extend both toes to face the side. We'll find a nice wide-legged forward fold here. We'll hold for about 5 breaths. Wherever you like to move or explore in this moment. It might feel good to just simply hang heavy through the head, shoulders, neck. And then we're going to plop down onto our bums. So in order to do this, you might just bend the knees and sit down, or you might challenge yourself and walk the feet super far apart. See how far down you can get, and then sink those hips down. So now we're in a seated, wide-legged forward fold. Let's take a fold here to just explore how this posture changes from being upright and now to being on the ground. So it might feel good to just simply bring the hands behind the back and open up your chest, kind of finding this opening in a seated position. It might also feel really nice to kind of creep your fingertips forward and kind of land in this deep stretch here. We'll only be here for about 3 more breaths, so just enjoy whatever you're exploring. Creeping yourself all the way back up, bringing the legs in front of you. Let's bobble the knees up and down a couple times. And then we'll find a seated twist here. So with both legs extended, start by pulling the right knee in towards the chest. And use this pulling inward to kind of lengthen your spine up. So I'll show you guys from the side. Notice the difference between this and this. So this is what we want here. We want that spine to be nice and lengthened before finding our twist. You can cross that right ankle over left thigh. And this is a great expression of this pose. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you might consider bending left leg as well here. Wherever you are, you just want to make sure that both glutes can be on the ground. Bringing the right hand behind the lower back as a kickstand to press yourself up. As you exhale, twisting and looking over towards the right shoulder. Your inhales are lengthening upwards, coming out of your dysfunctions. And your exhales is that twist. One more. Coming back to center, unwinding, reaching both legs in front of you, pulling the left knee in towards the chest. Find that same beautiful lengthening upwards. Maybe you choose to cross left ankle over right thigh, and you might even choose to bend the right knee as well. Just try to keep both hips, both glutes on the ground. So a lot of times when we come into this posture, it kind of allows that left hip to peel up. And I only want you to enter it this way if that both glutes can stay on the ground. I think that was English. All right, bringing the left hand behind the hip. Inhale is a lengthening upwards. Exhale, twisting and gazing over left shoulder. Inhale, find that beautiful lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more. Coming all the way back to center, unwind. Reach the legs in front of you, bubble them up and down a couple times. And we'll find our boat pose as our last little push on our abs this morning. So the most rudimentary style of boat is bringing the fingertips behind you and keeping the soles of the feet on the ground with a 90-degree angle in your feet. In your legs. So this is version number 1. Version number 2 might be bringing those hands behind the thighs. Maybe you can reach the feet off the ground now that you have that connection. And you can either choose to stay exactly as you are or follow us. With the inhale, we're pulling the knees in towards the chest. Exhale is a slow lengthening to this hover, so the legs extend, chest starts to reach back. Inhale, pull it in, make yourself this tiny little compact ball. And then with the exhale, spread yourself. Inhale, exhale. To make this harder, as you exhale, reach the arms up overhead, in, out, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release all the way to the ground. Arms reach overhead. Taking this nice big stick pose, lengthening your full body. And with the exhale, pulling the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a squeeze, rocking from side to side. Bringing both feet to the ground and crossing right ankle over left thigh for a figure 4 here. Walking through a couple options, perhaps opening the arms up into a T and rocking the shape from left to right. In Amy's class, we have this beautiful modification where we take a block or whatever prop you're using into the right hand and press right knee away with that block. It's another great option. And then finally, you might interlace the hands behind left thigh and use that connection to kind of pull this shape in towards the body. Wherever you are, found about 3 more breaths. Releasing left foot back to the ground, open the arms up to a T, and drop the shape over towards the left for a moment. So this is a little bit of an opposite twist that we usually go into. But I just want you to kind of linger in this pose for a moment. And then we'll bring that shape over towards the right, finally coming into our reclining twist. So it might feel good for you to keep that right ankle stacked on left thigh, or you might choose to remove it here and kind of sink into this posture. And take about 3 deep breaths here, in and out. Coming back to center, bringing both soles of the feet to the ground and then stacking left ankle over right thigh. And again, taking any pattern here that you like. Enjoy the silence as you explore here. If you did, interlace the hands behind right thigh and pull the shape in. Try to keep that lower back on the earth. Eventually dropping right foot to the ground, opening the arms up to a T, starting by dropping the shape over towards the right for a breath. And then dropping the knees over towards the left for your reclining twist. Choosing to keep the ankle stacked, or you can remove the ankle off of right thigh. Wherever you are, 3 deep breaths. Really softening on those exhales. When you're ready, slowly coming out of this pose, taking any last movements so that you can enter your final resting posture with comfort and ease. Take about 2 or 3 breaths to get there. And then when you're ready, returning to your final resting posture, your Shavasana. Let a full wave of breath come over you, in and out. And coming back to this idea of change. temporary nature of life. At first, it might seem scary that life is temporary. There might be a bit of anxiety that arises. But I'm here to tell you that there's nothing to fear. And life is full of cycles. And there is comfort in knowing that everything is temporary. Nothing is forever. And the only you that exists is the you right now. So take every moment at face value for what it is. Immerse yourself within each now. It kind of takes this pressure off of yourself, having to always plan for the future or reconcile with the past. The certainty of change within the uncertainty of all things, the uncertainty of life. And as you take your next breath, expand and reawaken. Bring your hands over your heart. And even as you feel your heartbeat or your breath, there's a beginning, inhale, or the beating of the heart, and then an ending, this exhale, cycle. We'll seal our practice in the sound of Om, and letting that transformative vibration move through you. Let's begin with our cleansing breath in and out. And for Om, inhale. And that beautiful breath in symbolizes a new beginning. Thank you all so much for being with me this morning at Mystic Fitness. I'm looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning. In the ongoing transformation within me bows to the ongoing transformation within you. Namaste. Thank you guys all so much. I really enjoyed seeing you guys pop in and give me all of your good mornings. And thank you, Tom, for the suggestion of Dancer. I will see you tomorrow morning. Take care. Namaste.